on this episode of Open Homes. James gets a special tour of this modern classic.
An awesome Gold Coast garden.
We head inside a renowned chef's own home for some kitchen design tips and a delicious recipe. And at the climax of the show, we get a special tour of this home.
Sam, I don't know which way to look. The amazing house or the amazing view?
Come with us as we step inside. Next, we head to Epping, 18 kilometres northwest of the Sydney CBD, and we're in for some great insight as we have none other than James Treble, design extraordinaire, on hand for the tour.
Hi everyone, James Treble here, and I'm super excited to be joining you for this season of Open Homes. And luckily for me, my first house is this stunning architectural masterpiece in leafy Epping, New South Wales, so let's go check it out.
Welcome, James. Good to have you on board. Looking forward to the tour.
So Jess and Karen, walking into this home is amazing. How did you bring it all together?
Thank you, James. It is a beautiful project and it was very much a collaboration between the owners, us as the designers, the architect, and then obviously the construction team.
And how do you feel about the whole thing, Jess? I mean, you must be really happy with this.
Oh, so proud of what we all ended up doing from concept stage, council through to the end. We worked really well with the client and we think that we've come up with a beautiful project that just shows the client's personality to a T.
Their personality must be pretty cutting edge. I just want to start with that amazing facade. It's got such an amazing street presence. It's so wide. But for me, it's that beautiful mixture of textures and tones that you've put on the outside. What made you choose these finishes?
We were quite mindful of the street presence. We wanted it to be quite understated and also very shocking for the area. So everything's quite dark, it's quite moody, quite contrasting. And we've been quite restrained with our colour palette, which I think is really true to the client's personal taste.
But as we enter into the home, it almost flips, doesn't it? We've got, instead of these light accents on dark, we've got sort of these dark accents on light.
One of the hardest things as a designer is to be quite restrained. So we pulled it back and we continued a lot of the finishes that you see here in the entry throughout the rest of the house.
I'm aching to get inside and have a look. Let's go.
Okay.
It's beautiful to walk in and down into this house. It's quite deceiving from the outside and walking in down the layers. Is it because of this sloping site? I mean, sometimes that can cause a lot of problems for a build.
It definitely can, and it was a design decision that from the front of the house, it may look like a two-storey, a standard sort of two-storey home, but once we enter, we've actually designed 7 different layers or levels internally.
7. So we've got 7 layers within. So it's not true just really a two-story, it's a split level, but over 7 levels. I mean, that's a pretty exciting floor plan to be able to work with.
It's really exciting and it meant the house actually flows really well. So living in this house, the owner has also said that it just flows really naturally. It's very fluid from one floor to the next. You're not walking up a whole flight of stairs to get through the house.
If I start with that kitchen, Jess, I mean, it's a designer kitchen. It's made for entertaining, but it still feels warm. Tell me about what you put together in the kitchen design.
It's stunning. It's a very minimal look. We've got very thin Decton porcelain bench tops, 12mm thick, with high-end appliances with the use of veneer. A smoky mirror splashback, which in this house, it was a real added benefit because everything's quite matte and low sheen, and just to have that hint of gloss helps reflect the courtyard and the beautiful green wall that's out there.
Now, you come down from the levels, almost like pavilions as we walk down. It feels like a big, beautiful resort now. Coming from the front, we come down a few stairs, all cast concrete. I mean, that's an immense job. But then we're down into this soft layer, this beautiful timber floor.
Yeah, it's stunning. And you'll notice throughout the house, we've used the timber against the concrete in more of the living zone. So a little bit softer, you do feel more warmth from that. And it just adds that extra colour and definition to the spaces because you're so open.
Now, all of this living area feels fantastic. It's big, it's open, but I want to go and check out the sleeping area, the quiet zone. I think we should have a look at that because I think to have a great, successful home, it needs a balance, right?
Correct.
So we've just made our way up to the top level of the home, and this is the sleeping zone. It starts with this great living area at the front of the space. It's the retreat. Now, there's 3 family bedrooms, correct? And the family bathroom, but one of them have an ensuite and the other 2 don't?
Yes.
Who's that going to?
We have 2 boys and a girl, and she is the lucky recipient of an ensuite.
Oh, you've got to look after the girls,
Yes,
don't you?
yes.
But now we've arrived in this master suite. I mean, I think you've transported me to a luxury hotel.
It's a bit like that.
So you've put the bath in this case as the hero again, but it
Definitely.
works so successfully.
Yeah, placing it there, there's no way around it. It is definitely the hero with the matte black again for the tapware, the concrete floor. They're actually quite lucky in where they're positioned. They've got no windows on the side and no one at the back viewing in. So all they do is look out their back window, and it's just a nice intimate space for the owners.
You spoke about that amazing big window. It's so open and we're perched like a bird up in the sky, and yet it is private, but it's all about that backyard. It looks amazing. I think we need to go down and check that out.
Yes, let's go.
The front of the house is so impressive, but I've got to say, I really love the back facade. I mean, these beautiful stairs going up, and it's the multi-levels. It gives me that same feeling of like walking up to a temple, that pavilion feel.
Yeah, it's amazing. You really actually get the real grand feeling of the house and notice all those levels throughout.
And those levels, Karen, we're looking into what has to be the man cave. It's like he's definitely a sports enthusiast. This is a space for Dad and maybe the boys.
Yeah, this is where all the fun happens. So on the lower level, we have a bar, a games room, a gym and a cinema room.
The gym is fantastic, but it's another set of stairs down to that cinema room. I mean, that's a true cinematic experience, isn't it? I think I'd just live there. The tiering of the block here just comes to its own. I mean, I think there's, a few metre drop from the front of the home to the rear, but it opens up so much possibilities for you in design.
Absolutely, and it was definitely a construction challenge, the slope of the block. But as you say, I think that we've really worked to our advantage by creating a lot of different layers and pods and platforms.
Yeah, it enables you to look from the house down into all of these layers. It's just so visually interesting. Well, girls, I've got to compliment you. The combination of fantastic architecture, the link with outdoors, and all of the beautiful finishes and fittings, you've done a really great job. Is there anything that you'd change?
Thanks, James. No, we really wouldn't. It's just been so much fun working with the owner, and we've just had an absolute dream, and it's turned out perfectly for us.
And thank you for taking the time to walk through the house with us.
It's a pleasure.
I've loved spending time in this home. It's got a great mixture of textures and finishes and really good contrast. But for me, the high point is how it's positioned on the block. That slight slope has created levels which just draw your eye in and down into the home. It's a really, really successful result.
Next, we head to Broadbeach Waters on the Gold Coast to see a home and garden with a fair bit of flair. And who could we send up to investigate this ritzy residence? We'll need someone with a blockbuster attitude, a landscape designer to the stars, and someone who likes fast cars. Yep, it's none other than Dave Franklin, of course. Dave takes us through one of his earliest designs up here in Queensland, and it's a beauty.
So the first thing that you notice when you enter this house is the bold architecture here. You can see this big zinc panelling and also the copper panelling. So the best thing that you can do with the architecture of this house is do a great garden design that suits it. So out the front here, we've done a layered pond here that falls down into a bottom pond. We've done a lot of different square edges that, again, goes back to the architecture of the house. And one thing that I do love about when you have Queensland homes, and we can't grow them back in Melbourne, is frangipanis. I only get to see them when I'm in Bali or in Queensland, and that's why I've done it here, because the smell is beautiful, and that's what we've done in the front yard. We've laid frangipanis everywhere, and of course, your token palm tree, that's right behind me. Best thing about this house as well, it's all business out the front, but party out the back. So let me show you around there now. So this is one of the first big jobs that we've designed in the Gold Coast here. And like every job that we do, I always love doing bench seating and the token fire pit, what we've got here. But I mean, why wouldn't you? When you've got such a good view, when you've got the canal here, beautiful breeze, palm trees right behind you, I think that creates a really good space. And again, one of the big things here, if you are a lawn lover in Queensland, you will be mowing your lawns every week. My other tip is I use synthetic grass here because my clients are time poor. And that's what we got urban turf into this job here. And we've used it not only just up here for the dog area here, we've used it for the pool area down there. And at the same time, we've got the canal up here that does tend to have king tides and may come over. And that's where the synthetic grass is good because it drains so well. One other thing that we love in this landscape is the lushness. And this is what we call Hellenica right behind me. It gives you a beautiful red flower. And not only do I have it here, I actually have it mirror image right behind the kitchen over there. At night time when this is lit up, it is quite special. So we're now in the backyard. So as you can see, there is multiple levels to this house. Not only are we in the pool area here, we also have a balcony that's right up on the top story as well. So that's 3 levels we have here, all on the canal here, right on the Gold Coast. One thing that I love, which I think every man needs, is your own personalised boat ramp, which is over there. So he's got that in, so that's a big tick from me straight away. The pool here, which again, this is a mineral swim, so this is 100% natural water here, so that's another tick for me. Again, we've got the synthetic grass from Urban Turf over there. That's another tick. There's a lot of ticks in this backyard. One of the other things that I do love about this architecture is how that you can see this water reflecting up on all the plywood underneath there, and that with the shadow line, I think that is quite special. With this lush garden, this is actually a very low maintenance, although with summer, with plenty of water, there is a bit of maintenance that you will be out there, but again, you don't want to be here at home doing the maintenance all the time. When you have the canal here, you've got the beach straight across the road, and you've got all the Gold Coast sites right here. All right, I'm going to get out of here. As you can see, Melbourne's probably 12 degrees today. Gold Coast is 30 degrees. I don't know where I'm going to take the boat, the car, or just start swimming, but I'm out of here. Ferrari, Bentley, Lambo, Porsche. I think I'll take the Porsche.
The heart of every good home is the kitchen, and in this special segment, we're focusing in on what makes it tick. We head to Adelaide into renowned chef Adam Swanson's own home for some tips on kitchen design, some food stories, and of course, a mouth-watering recipe to get you inspired.
Hi, I'm Adam Swanson. In today's recipe, we're going to be making a wonderful springtime pasta. We're using San Remo Cervelli pasta. We have asparagus, kale, lemon, dill, and a lovely hint of fresh yogurt at the end. Now, when you're cooking your pasta, the key is to have rapid boiling water and to add a good pinch of salt into your water like so. Now, this pasta is going to take about 9 minutes to cook. So in the time that the pasta is cooking, we're going to make our wonderful springtime sauce. When I think of spring veggies, I think of asparagus, kale, peas, all those beautiful green veggies that come into springtime. Firstly, we need to get the base to our sauce on. Good splash of olive oil, extra virgin, butter. This is the base to the sauce. So when that melts down, and we get that sizzle. Ooh, I love that sizzle. It's all about that sizzle. Lemon zest is the base to this sauce along with our veggies. Now, reason being is that beautiful zest gives us this real refreshing taste, and the natural oils from the skin will perfume our sauce. Now, garlic. Grab 1 clove, the back of your palm, straight on like so. No need to chop, straight in the pan. So people always ask me, how do you prepare asparagus? It's really simple. Grab your asparagus like so, and just like that. That part there's the woody bit. Unfortunately, that goes in the bin. We're just gonna dice up our asparagus into nice bite-sized pieces. Checking our pasta, beautiful rapid. The aroma of that lemon and garlic is just wonderful, and it really makes me think of springtime. Now, to prepare kale, just remove all the wonderful leaf like so. If you like that part, just chop it up, okay? It's nice and crunchy. So I would just come through. Now, don't go all the way down there, because that's no good. Obviously, that's where the vegetable grows in the garden. Now, if you're not a fan of kale, which I reckon everyone pretty much is, there are other variations like cavolo nero, which is the Italian spinach, or just good old English spinach, nothing wrong with that, or some silver beet. Substitute this into this recipe and it'll be perfect. Just give it a fine shred. And the thing about all my recipes, I'm not too fussy, hey? It's about enjoying cooking and having some fun. So just using these wonderful seasonal ingredients. Now that that's done, let's check on our pasta. Just drop down the temperature to just a medium boil. We're looking for al dente. So when I talk about al dente, we mean firm to the tooth. So it's got a little bit of resistance left. My pasta's almost there. So at this point, we're gonna take our asparagus and our kale into the boiling water. That's gonna sit there for a minute or two, just to cook through. We don't wanna overcook it. We just wanna blanch it. The kale's obviously been in the pasta water with the asparagus for a minute or so we just want to check on that. Yeah, look at that, beautiful and green. Time to take our pasta out of the pot. Look at those little spirals, I love it. The trevelle works perfect with this pasta sauce. Into the pan. That sizzle is a key element to this dish, yeah? So we know that the pasta, obviously been cooking in the water, has hit the butter, and it's gonna start to emulsify and actually join up together and begin to create our sauce. So that's fantastic. I'm gonna take a little bit of this pasta water and add it into our sauce there, our butter. It's gonna help thin it out. I'm gonna toss that through like so. Oh, wow, love it. Simplicity is a virtue with pasta, yeah? You really just wanna keep 3-4 ingredients, keeping it nice and tasty. Now, dill, I like to use it with my pasta also. Pasta is now taking on the flavour of our lovely lemon and garlic butter sauce. Time to add a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt and some cracked pepper. I'm gonna take the heat up to a nice boil, rapid boil, and we're gonna add in some Parmesan. Parmesan also works as salt, so be careful that you don't overload it. You can see it melting, starting to combine all those flavours together. Turn our heat off. Now, this is a little bit of variation to my pasta recipe. Maybe you could add some cream, but today we're gonna add some Greek-style yogurt. What that's gonna do is gonna help also with that beautiful, refreshing, zingy taste, okay? So don't be scared to add yogurt to your pasta dishes. It works. There you have it, my springtime-inspired pasta recipe, asparagus, kale, lemon, and beautiful trevelle pasta. If you like this recipe and any others that I may whip up, follow us on Instagram or Facebook.
Next, we're in Launceston. This is our first trip to Tasmania for the show, and lucky James got the call up.
With an amazing backdrop like this, you know this site deserves a pretty special house. We're here in Launceston, Tasmania, to check out an amazing home that's filled with textural elements, handmade bricks and great use of vertical line. You are going to love this house.
He's with Sam from S Group for a tour of this home, which takes inspiration from its surrounds.
Sam, I don't know which way to look. The amazing house or the amazing view?
The whole concept of the house is we've drawn it out along the contour, and it's almost a reflection of that panorama of the view that you see. In the distance, you've got the undulating hills and the mountains. Yep. We've got this thing that's drawn out, and then we've got the big silver top ash timber spike in the centre, which is kind of playing on that mountain in the middle.
Right, so it's almost like a reflection of the landscape into water, but it's been represented in a house. What I particularly love is that you've got this very long facade, but you've also got lots of vertical lines in there with the cladding. So tell me the inspiration for the finishes and the design.
You know when you see a log of timber in the paddock and it's dark on the outside, just like the Axon cladding
like it's all greyed off.
Yeah, and then if you split that down the middle, it's a beautiful golden colour in the middle. And that's what it feels like. It feels like it's a lump of grey wood and it's been sculpted out where the windows are in between.
So we're in Tasmania and it's known for that beautiful, rich timber species that you get down here. How have you put that in the facade?
So we've used a lot of timber in this project, and we've got this awesome timber supplier here in Tassie called McKay's Timber, and we've worked with those guys to choose what's going to be the best for the inside, what's going to be the best for the outside. And we've chosen the silver top ash here because it's a really hard-wearing timber. We can just let it silver off over time, and it's actually not going to lose its integrity.
I love the minute we walk inside. We get to look left and right. It's almost like a boomerang, this amazing hallway that runs right down the length of the home.
You walk in and it feels like you're almost outside again. So we've treated that, I suppose we call it the linkway, which is that access all the way through the house. The floor of it's concrete, feels like it's outside. We've got the Tas oak timber on the ceiling. It feels almost like a veranda because it's heavily glazed on that facade as well.
Yes.
And it feels like you're constantly coming from outside to inside as you traverse through the house.
This beautiful boomerang shape of the home means that there's long banks of glass on both sides, so there's natural light coming in all day. You don't need any lights on.
Traditional home design is more of a rectangle, and you end up with those bits in the middle which are actually hard to get the light to penetrate into the centre of the home. But by having this site where we can draw it out along the contour, we've got that opportunity to get the link to the backyard and then also draw the sun in on both sides of the dwelling.
Something that works really successfully in this space is that it's open plan. You've got the lounge, the dining and the kitchen, but it's separated with this fireplace in the middle that is glass and you can see right through. And the level is quite distinctly different.
I love that little play on level that we've got there because it forms this passive social space. You can imagine mum and dad cooking in the kitchen, hanging out, the kids playing on the staircase, rolling there, throwing stuff down into the kitchen. It almost forms a little bit of a natural amphitheatre for performance and play.
The kitchen is so important in any Australian home, and more so here because it's just right on show and it's in the centre of this entertaining area. The finishes, you've repeated the same scheme throughout the house.
So they always say the kitchen is the heart, and
Yes.
I would say in this home, the kitchen is the lungs. It still allows the space to breathe a little, you know, with where it's positioned and how the materiality works. But we've reflected that same materiality again from the outside, back on the inside where we've got the natural timbers, talking about the dark, like in the lounge room, which is picked up out of the Tas oak. And then we've got that almost 70s vibe with the tiles, which are playing on your eye, and I would hate to come home after a raging night and look at those, James. There's all these little surprises all the way through the house where you're repeating the same idea again and again and again, but it's always got a little bit of a twist on it, which just always just keeps interest. There was a big collaboration in this project between us, the architects, also the interior designer, but then also the clients as well. The clients had a lot of input. And as you can see by the way they've finished the home, they have got great taste. So it was a great three-way collaboration.
Yeah, I completely can see that. I mean, it feels comfortable, it's warm, it's inviting, even with these really hard surfaces of concrete and brick walls, all of that texture's sort of created a home that just feels really comfortable to walk inside. It feels like it's been here a long time and yet it's new.
And I had that conversation with the owners today, and what's it like as a family home? What's it like living here? Because they've been here for over 6 months now, and to actually see, and they just love it. They say it's just working with that interaction of spaces from inside to out, the visual cues between the spaces. From a family lifestyle, it just works.
Well, I think we're spoiled. I mean, you live in a beautiful part of Australia. Tasmania's got this unique character all of its own, amazing landscapes, fantastic architecture. It has been an absolute pleasure coming and seeing it firsthand.
Well, thanks for watching. We hope you found some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have.
For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more open homes.